I believe that America can be beautiful. How? I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Water and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suleiman Rahim here, Best in the Covenant, Breaker 7 Seals, Joshua the Messiah. Why Messiah? Heard Antichrist? Messiah means Christ. The reason they call Antichrist is mathematical. The anti is opposite of it's positive. So if you got a positive 5, you got an anti-5, negative 5. So it's called Antichrist because they conceive at the same time. They conceive at the same time. So the Christ, the Messiah, and the anti-Messiah, they conceived at the same time, 1948, in April and May. That would make Christ 90 years old. Wait a minute. Farracon, he's 97 years old, ain't he? Well, something's wrong there. You make him 77 years old, wouldn't it? If you go by the birth date, that was a conception date would make him 78. I guess just coincidence I'm 77 today, for this week. Just coincidence. Anyway, Bell says, I'm going to talk about that. We get a little critique of that BS that went on today. Not because I want to. That's part of my mission. I got to expose them. For the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy the brightness of his coming. But see, that's lying on Farracon right there. That's his father. You see resemblance? He was like a light-skinned Jamaican to you. He can miss his father's white, Caucasian, Portuguese Jew. That make his father a white, Caucasian, Portuguese Jew. That make him a black, Caucasian, Portuguese Jew. Okay? He's not to see Abraham. His father's the devil. See the resemblance? Don't wear glasses. Now, I've never wear glasses a day in my life. Oh, I wear shades. I don't need them. I'm 77. And I don't have cancer. I'm in good health. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's stay. Louis Eugene Grounds, NY backwards. That's his real name, Louis Eugene Grounds, not Morcott. Walcott was his stepfather's name. She wasn't married to Walcott, but he was conceived. According to him, his mother is a hoe or a rape victim. Your choice. Because she had sex with his father while she was still living with Walcott, who she was not married to. She lived with this Eugene Walcott. That's why he got that name after Walcott. But he said that his father was this guy, Percival Clark, who his mother slept with while she was living with Walcott. Now she slept with him. It makes her a hoe, or she was raped. It makes him a rapist. That means he make his mother a hoe or his father a rapist. Either way, it ain't that good, is it? It makes either his mother a hoe or his father a rapist. We know his father's the devil. He got a lot of stories after I exposed him. Because they were trying to say, well, it doesn't make a difference. One drop of black blood make you black. No, it make you black. It don't make you original. It definitely don't make you see Abraham. We changed those stories. But anyway, that makes his father a rapist or his mother a hoe. You know, you call it. See? Anyway, he's not see Abraham. Farracon. Son of perdition.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother. Both sides.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
See how you love the devil so much? We love them. I want to have to America. I love America. I don't want to go anyplace else. I love it here. You know, I want to make America great. I make America good. You know, I want to happen to America. When it comes to the Muslims, both sides, male and female, he pray Allah that the worms eat your ass. Now, the devils, they raped us, beat us, tortured us, terrorized us for hundreds. Hear me now. Hundreds of years. Hundreds. Without let up. But he don't want to see anything happen to him. He don't want to see judgment come to him. But the Muslims that have been feeding him, putting steak on his plate, steaks and oysters or whatever else he's eating, on his plate, $5 suits on his back, $10,000 rings on his finger, a mansion he living in, cars. Oh, they ain't doing enough with me. They ain't doing enough with him. We play a lot of worms, eat their ass. Because you ain't doing enough for me. Aside from the fact that when the Muslim was alive, well, how did they die? Ooh, don't get me started. I don't want to break the bad news, right? I mean, news flash. Who killed it? Henry Wallace. I was present, eyewitness. You know what eyewitness is? And I give anybody $5,000 to prove I'm lying. Henry Wallace killed the Nation of Islam. They destroyed it. They got rid of it. They started something called the Babylonians. They badmouth Elijah Muhammad and Master Muhammad. Said Master Muhammad was a trickster. Elijah Muhammad was no messenger. That's Farracon and Wallace together. And he looted the nation, liquidated all its assets, put the money in their pockets, and left the believers alone, left abandoned with nothing. And so when the wolves came, they wasn't but technically believers. They took some believers, threw them to the wolves, to make their getaway easier. They abandoned the sheep. Farracon abandoned, he didn't stand, he abandoned the sheep, took off with the money, and left the believers empty, nothing, homeless, with nothing. I know because I was part of it. I was a foreman at Mom C newspaper, night foreman. I lived in the Nation complex. I shopped Nation Bank. My car was financed through the Nation Bank. I lost everything. Am I bitter? I ain't bitter because of that. That's a long time ago. See? I'm just saying, that's what he did. I'm just repeating history. It doesn't matter whether I'm bitter or not. It's still history, ain't it? And I play Allah. You want to pray Allah? I'll pray Allah. If I'm lying, he strike me down right now. Right now. Right before your eyes. That's exactly what he did. Bad mouthing Elijah, and matter of fact, I'm all on the way. And then let's stay a little further. When the Muslims lied, they had this, had that. Why? Because we worked hard. I sold 300 papers a week like all FOI, including even though I was a foreman. You sold $300 papers a week, or your ass was out of there. Not $299, not $299 plus one. I mean $299 and a half, $300. I sold $300 like everyone else. And the money went to Elijah. It was like he invested. He didn't put money in his pocket. Elijah left here. He didn't leave here with any money. All the money, everything he had was invested into the Nation of Islam and in us. He said, well, he took money. Master Mama told me, you take money from them and show them how to invest their money. That's what he did. So he produced banks, he produced farms, he produced residential complexes. He produced those things. See? So with the Farracon produced nothing. He put in his pocket. That's why he's cursed with a curse, robbing the nation. That's what it says in Malachi. But you won't call that a curse? Cancer 55? We got him shit and piss in the bag with the rest of his life. You don't call that a curse? Well, that's a blessing from Allah. That's the kind of blessing you get from Allah. Okay, I'm gonna bless you, boy. I'm gonna have you shit in the bag. You don't have to go taller no more. That's a blessing. You don't have to go taller no more. Just think about that. Think the positive side. All you got to do is sit there and let shit roll in the bag, man. You got to go to the bathroom no more. That's the way it works. It's a curse. He put all the money that they gave him in his pocket. He's a multi-millionaire. So is his so-called dumbass son. Multi-millionaire. They invest anything into the Nation of Islam. Nothing. Invest in their pockets. That's why they curse with a curse. But see, the real Christ, he doesn't come, he comes with gifts and presents. Because you made a sacrifice, now you come with the reward. He comes with healing and purification. He doesn't come ask you for a goddamn thing, nothing. He comes to give you. See, they ask, give me money, give me this, give me that. Like a so-called son of bullshit. What they call his name, right? That kind of, they want money. Well, it says a free gift in Revelation. Read that part. There's a free gift. I don't want anything from you. I don't need to ask for followers. I don't want any followers. I don't want money. I come to give you something. I don't want anything from you. He said he come to give you something. He come to save, come to give you something. Now, if you want salvation, he has it for you. He gives you a lifeline. The angel's a lifeline. That's why you can't mess around with it. Come to give you. I've been 35 years on the post, giving you information, telling you what's going on. Farracon been stuffing his pockets with money, If you give him, he doesn't do a goddamn thing. But what, worms eat your ass. But for the devil, no, I want to stay here. And then he says, the nation of Islam could be built. Well, Elijah said, a nation, by definition, is supposed to be independent. They don't call you a baby until you come out the womb. You're in the womb, you ain't a baby yet. You ain't just something growing. Somebody might say, well, how's that baby doing? And, when you're pregnant. But the actual, you're officially a baby, because that's why they're going to abort, they also abort you, because you're not alive. You come out of the womb. That's why they give you a birthday at the time you come out. So a nation is not a nation that is in the womb of another nation. By definition, that's wrong. You can't be a nation if you're in the room of another nation. So like Muhammad says, we're a nation, that's why we got to get the hell out of here, so be independent and follow our own laws. How you a nation if you follow someone else's laws, you're a slave to someone else? How you can call you free if you walk around master's name, under master control, doing master territory? How the hell you can call that freedom? When you told what to do, how to act, how to control yourself, how is that freedom? How is this nation of Islam a free nation and we're in submission to another nation? That shows a bullshit from top to bottom. But frankly, we don't go nowhere. So I told you, he doesn't see this as a nation. He's using it as a bait. The whole point is to snuff out the light of Elijah. I'm not sure I'm going to get to that. I talk extensively. The whole idea is to snuff out the light of Elijah. Snuff it out. Snuff out that vision. It says send Farracon to do it. So if you want to catch bass or crappies or snapper, you got to use the proper appropriate bait to catch the type of fish you're looking for. So that's why I said, wow, Elijah, now I give you $5,000 if you can show me that shit that he's teaching is consistent with Elijah Muhammad's teachings and Master Muhammad's teachings. You do lessons, Master Muhammad's extreme wisdom. God, they don't follow his teachings. He says the devils are 100% wicked, cannot be reformed, they walk the planet, and they say just the opposite. So they don't follow Elijah Muhammad's teaching. No, in fact, they shit on it. Elijah Muhammad said, we fools to stay here in the land by imprisonment. Russia, we ain't going nowhere. So I guess somebody's a fool there. There's no way you could reconcile that unless you understand that Elijah's the bait to get you in. Just like you ain't trying to feed the fish when you put a worm on a hook. You're not trying to feed the fish. You're trying to catch the fish. And you're trying to catch the fish to save the fish. You're trying to catch the fish, you can live off the fish, eat the fish. So you put it out there to bring people in so you can live off of them. They're the bait to pull them in and live off of them. That's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. Last 40-some years. Now his time is up. Oh, his time is up. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Pray a lot of the worms eat your ass. We had a leader with Elijah Muhammad. We gave him the money. He said, okay, do this. The Farracon money goes right in his bank account. There's a goddamn thing, nothing. That's why he got that cancer. Curse from God for robbing the nation. Now, you're going to read Malachi, you're going to read that part? Who's the one that's cursed for robbing the nation? It's right there, Malachi. Who is they talking? Is it Elijah? The Master from Muhammad? The Messenger of the Covenant? There's 4 people there. There's the God, right? There's the messenger who the God comes to. There's the messenger of the covenant that succeeds Elijah. Same thing, the same stories in Exodus. The same story, same combination. Then you got another person here that's cursed with a curse for robbing the nation. So who in the hell is robbing the nation? Elijah? Master Muhammad? There's a covenant. There's a 4th person here that's cursed with, what would you call a curse? What do you call cancer at 55? Sitting in a piss in a bag, castrated for the rest of your life? What do you call that a curse? That's the fourth person. And you got the same four people in Exodus. The same four people in Exodus. Right? You got the God. You got Elijah. Right? You got Aaron that messed everything up. Was a liar, no good. He's the one that came after Elijah. Remember? He's the one, after Elijah departed. He did all that stuff for 40-some years. And people running around the wilderness and Turkey. And when God saw that, he said, "Mo, get down." He said, "They're not following your teachings." It says right there, they're not following your teachings. So who the hell is this person they talking about? Who is this Aaron that you claim Farracon's Aaron? Don't you claim he's Aaron? So then, why you have a problem with that part? If you say it's Aaron, that's exactly what Aaron did. That's exactly what Aaron did. Had people working the golden calf, and then he said he wasn't teaching Elijah. He said, "Are you not teaching your teachers, Elijah? You're not teaching my teachers, Elijah? Yeah, you're teaching bullshit. So get down there and take Joshua with you and mess with the covenant. And get the people over to God's Joshua. They come and separate them out and put them the ones that are not with Aaron, put them over to Joshua. Let Joshua handle it. I'll be with Joshua like I was with you." That's a clear story. What's the problem? There's no problem. It's beautiful. It's happening exactly what's supposed to happen. Because those with Farracon, stay with Farracon, please. There's no point in taking and shifting out the dirt and then putting it back in. You know, you got dirt in the water mix, you got mud, right? So you put some heat in there, suck the water up, and then, right? So the mud dries out, and there's dirt and the water's, separated. So what's the point of doing that? You're going to put it back together again. So Farracon is drawing all the chaff and tares to himself. Doing a good job. And at that time, when time comes, Joshua is going to separate and throw all their ass in the fire. Keep on, Farracon, you're doing a good job. Excellent job. Commend you. Because you got these clowns. I was watching this thing, I took a peek. Well, we got cancer. They got this clown called James. I met him. He's a goddamn thief. Now, sue me, James. Come online. Got to send a final call with a little bucket. And the bucket says, Farracon's economic program, or something to that effect. It was economic program. And so he had people putting money in there, talking about this. That money never saw it's never saw Farracon. It went to his damn pocket. Now he said, "I got cancer." You goddamn right you got cancer. They got a lot of problems over there. They got a lot of problems over there. Everybody's, remember COVID? It took so many people away in COVID. They won't give reveals Ava's real cause of death. Because they don't want to tell people she died because she took that shot. But she's telling everybody not to take. She ain't believe on bullshit. That's why you're hiding the fact, the reason for her departure. But why is it secret? He lost a lot of top people doing COVID. And then he's doing a lot of cancer and all that kind of stuff. So how come I get hit so hard over there? I get hit so hard over there. Ain't nothing happening over here. Yeah. Who the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Scripture's 100% on track. More on, brothers and sisters. Excuse the sun, brothers and sisters, but the doctor keeps trying to take me. I ain't taking any medication. Well, you need some more. You need some more sun. Tell me to take vitamin D or something. So I said, well, I don't want to do that. So I just got the shades open so that my sight come in. Make them happy. Good little sunlight, extra sunlight. Oh boy. 77 years old. How was you doing at 77, Farracon? How are you doing? How you doing now? Walking around in a jumpsuit because they got dressed. They can't dress themselves. Can't wipe his own ass. Tim lying. But I told him to shut up. Let me do something here quick, brothers and sisters. Yep, all about the Benjamins. Took that money and ran, left the beast with nothing. Cowards and thieves. Liars. The mouth. Said the mouth will make war with the saints. No covenant. We're the saints, aren't you the saints? Who's the mouth that came for 40 something years? They haven't happened in his mouth, they haven't had. God's a liar.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farracon is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Goes without saying, brothers and sisters, it's been out there for forever. No one stepped up yet. They're aware of it. I mean, Instagram and stuff and talk about it, but they won't, because they can't, because they're lying. I told you, Elijah Muhammad's just bait for Farracon's bullshit. You're not getting Elijah. You bite, you take a bite, and you're not, or you get Scientology around her, but you don't get Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Not at all. Those ain't those anymore. We're not going anywhere, which was the foundation of Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Our enemy is, and our destination, our vision. Our enemy is, who's the enemy of that vision? That's the foundation. And then what's about this? Remember, go back 3 or 4 years. You see if they talk about Master Muhammad back then. No, it's about the originator. Farracon saying, well, you can't worship Master Muhammad because he's flesh. Okay, but God's a man, and there's no speaks of spirit. Well, if you worship something that's not flesh, what else can it be? It got to be a spook, or spirit. This is Farracon. I told him, want me to show it? I can show you the presentation. He said, you can't worship Farracon because you can't worship Master Muhammad because he's flesh. That means you have to worship something that's not flesh. But if it's not flesh, isn't that spook or spirit? They say, no, God. All of a sudden, it's Master Muhammad now for years. Just go back. Go back to about 3 or 4 years. And they're all as the originator. The originator did this. The originator is 72 years dead. We say we got to worship the one that created all this. Make on the cream of the planet of God universe. That's a lot of Muhammad's, that's Master Muhammad's teaching. That's not what they're teaching. Anyway, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let me show you something else. Just another challenge I'm giving. See if this makes any sense. Because they're not going to do this. Okay? Now, I believe in Islam 100%. Not 99.9. I don't just believe it, I know it. I go beyond belief. But I got the science to prove it. Unless the science is wrong. Watch this.
Prayer. I pray Allah that if Farracon is not the son of perdition and is the Messiah and all the things that his followers claim that he is, that Allah strikes me with horrific cancer and open destruction. Now, will his followers make the same prayer claiming that Farracon is not the son of perdition and is all the things that they have been claiming he is? Including that Elijah is the exalted Christ and eternal leader of the nation of Islam, meaning Elijah is the last messenger and that Allah is mistaken about the messenger of the covenant who Elijah prepares the way for, who the believers are supposed to be seeking, who will take us home, where Farracon says Allah is wrong again, cause we ain't going nowhere.
I don't know, would they make that statement? Would they say, if I'm wrong? No, and if they're right, in other words, if they're right, excuse me, let me put it backwards. If I'm right, then Allah should strike them down with a horrific cancer and open destruction, if I'm right. See, why would you say it the other way? Why would you say it the other way? If they're right and I'm wrong, then they should say the same prayer, right? They know. We pray Allah that Farracon is the Messiah. He's all the things we say he is. He is the son of perdition. That we pray, and if he is, then maybe Allah should strike us down with cancer. I mean, I don't know if that's even worth it because somebody can strike him down already without the prayer. Oh God, this dumbass. I didn't read the whole thing, so I'm paraphrasing. It may be added. He may have said some things beyond this. I'm just saying, look what I heard. He said, he got cancer. And so it's a good thing. Because now he got cancer, he can explain to everybody else how to deal with that cancer. Is that the way God rolls? Really? You give me cancer so I can tell you about how to get cancer? Excuse me, I don't need that. Let me find another messenger, man. I'm going to go back in and check me some FL. Because that makes more sense than that bullshit. See, it's stupid. You know, the Bible called cancer a wasting disease, and it's reserved for the lives of wicked. The wasting disease. So see if they make that prayer. I prayed it. If I'm lying, hope Allah strikes me down horrifically, openly. Strike me down with cancer. I'm 77 years old this week. You see any double chin here? See any wrinkles anywhere? See any wrinkles anywhere? See any frail arms? Any frail arms or anything? You know, you see any frail arms or anything? Right? See that? I ain't bragging. But you see that? That look like. Can Farracon say the same thing? I'm ready for battle. You see me laying back in the wheelchair, mumbling? You see that? Everybody carrying me around, walking around in a jumpsuit. I'm 77 years old this week. You reading from the script somebody wrote for me? I'm ready for battle. That's what Messiah has to do. He has to lead us in battle. Joshua has to lead us in battle. Joshua's the warlord. He leads back. But he ain't here to convince you anything. He'll lead you if you want to be led. But you have to prove you're going to be led because he's going to leave you here in tribulation, right? So you can figure your way out of it. You don't start out Saul in the Quran where he says, okay, he tests people with water. If you drink some of this water, we won't bunch you. He tests it. He puts his army through certain tests. And those that didn't get through all those tests. He didn't want them. Because he said, I don't want to go to war with you because you ain't ready. If you fall, you can't pass those tests. And that's what tribulation is. Because he wants the best, he wants the best soldiers there are. That's where they take back this universe, make a own a cream of planet Earth, God universe. You want no bullshit? Fake toy soldiers? So put your tribulation like you want the best gold in the world, right? Which you put in the furnace. Oh man, that's cool. You want to burn it up? No. Because you know the gold is going to withstand the heat. It's that little impure stuff that's going to get burned up. All it's going to be uncomfortable for the gold. When it comes out, it'll be pure. See? That's why you put them in the furnace. When it comes out, the ones come out. That's your army. That's your warriors. But they were tried with a great tribulation, the highest fire there is. They come through that many pure gold, pure silver. And anybody going to fuck around with them. They come to kick ass. Ain't going to be no bullshit. See? That's why he said, he tests them. He says, what John says? He'll come and baptize you with fire. See, baptize initiation like a purification. He's going to purify. See, he said, I put your wood, I just wash it off. See, I got some gold, I'm going to wash it off. You know, so it's clean. But still, impurities in it. Washing ain't going to remove impurities. You got to put it in fire to get the impurities out. They put them in the furnace. When they have those come out the furnace, they're ready. Now they're ready for battle. So we got to take back everything that was taken from us. And they're ready for battle. See? So he didn't come to save you. He came to see if you can save yourself. No prophet must come to save anybody. You better read the scripture carefully. We come to give information to save yourself. That's why I have believers and disbelievers. They come to save. They wouldn't have disbelievers and disbelievers. Just have to just grab everybody. Those that listen, they're the believers. Not believers, they listen, they believed. Believing is more than just knowing, it's acting on it. The believers acting on it. He's heard it and acted on it. And disbelievers, they heard it too. See, both heard it. One acted, one didn't. You don't pay attention to those nuances there. Both heard it. But one act, I keep telling people, you keep talking about the angel, are you acting on it? Then you're a disbeliever. Because you hear it, it says the disbelievers and believers, they both heard it. You have to hear something to disbelieve in it, don't you? I keep telling people, they pay attention to those nuances. You got to hear something to disbelieve in it. So what's the difference between a believer and disbeliever? The believers both heard it, but one acted on it, one didn't. So if you talk about you got the angel and you didn't act on it, that means you're a disbeliever. I can't get that message across to people. You're a disbeliever. That's why I cut that tree down if it don't produce as a disbeliever. When you believe it, then you start bearing fruit. You start understanding, you move up to that level. They don't want to hear that clarity. They want to get more. That's why they want to kill prophets and messengers, because they clear from it. Oh, I mean, I can understand it because if they're a disbeliever, you know, I can understand them when they kill that messenger, because for them, that messenger is the one that's causing the problem for them. I can understand where they're coming from, that's the level they think, but it doesn't ever work. You know, they could have killed Noah, that wouldn't stop the flood, would it? That just wouldn't have been a boat at all for nobody. Got to hear it. Okay. Disbelieve in it. So this little shit show is, I'm not going to critique all of it. I mean, that's my admission to, but you know, I mean, I'm going to critique some of it. You know, because I mean, it's, after a while, too much is too much, right? They said, you know, they keep talking about this thing about the Son of Man. It tells you clearly, Son of Man, woolly hair and dark skin. But they ignore that. Oh, that's Master Muhammad. Yeah, well, Muhammad may have said that, but let's all say he got it nearly correct. He's wrong on that one, because unless Master Muhammad is going to get a Jerry Curl and get a tan job, so he appears back, man, he got a Jerry Curl. That's Jehovah's Witness do, right? If he said Jehovah's Witness, that picture of God, he got a Jerry Curl, right? These people, they white got it. I tell you, boy. See, they got to keep twisting the scripture. I have the scripture. You don't see me doing that. They got to keep bending and twisting scripture like that. That clown today did that. Twisting and turning scripture. Like that stupid, Daniel? Was Daniel? Come on. Yeah, reading out of scripture. Well, they're going to weed out your ass pretty soon because your time is over. Your time is over. You don't know it. Time is up. I don't have to be. You don't see me being distorting the scripture. I'll tell you what scripture there. That's all of it. We accept all of it. All of it. See? We had a twist and turn. He has made all kinds of twists and turns today. He has made all kinds of stuff. Statements don't make any sense. Let me say one more thing. I'll move on, brothers and sisters. He was trying to attack me. But see, they put him out there because he probably a science doctor. So they're trying to show, he knows mathematics. So, and show that I don't know any mathematics, but mathematics is incorrect. Let me show you an example here. He put this thing, he says, power equals velocity times force. That's the mechanical, if you use physics, that's mechanical definition of power. Force times velocity, or motion. Velocity is motion. That's the definition if you look up, right? Okay. Now I said power is discipline times energy. So he says, see, you look at the book, man, it says force times velocity is power. He don't say it by name, but that nigga over there, he talking about energy times discipline is power. It is. Like I try to explain to you, force and weight is exactly the same thing. It's like you speak, when we're talking about a person, you call it weight, because if you're on the floor, you put force on the floor, but they call that weight. Still the same thing. They're calling bueno and good, they're the same thing, just different language. Okay, understand that. Okay, so what's discipline? Discipline is force. Ain't discipline force? You're forcing yourself to go a certain way. That's what discipline is. Force by definition. Discipline is force. Discipline is force. You apply force to get a certain activity or motion, whatever you're trying to do. But it takes discipline is force. But discipline is something you're controlling it. That's force. What is energy? Energy is motion. It's the same damn thing, but he's stupid. He tried to knock me down, and all he did is prove what I just said. This is force. Right? And energy is motion. So he said, force times velocity, force times velocity is motion, force is the same thing, use power, same thing. See? I was trying to explain it in terms of how it relates to us directly. When they show you there, they're talking about explain in a way mechanical, like, you're talking about a car hitting something or something like that. But same formula. The same thing, both from equal power. That dummy. They dumb over there. Take a lesson about I'm not gonna move into that. Anyway. He said a lot of things he was trying to. Oh, you gotta be talk positive and all this. Elijah Muhammad is no, that's not what Malachi says. It says there'll be one after him, another messenger, but they never mention that messenger, do they? And then, Master Muhammad's wisdom is infinite. No, Elijah may have said that, but it's incorrect. Because it says right there, it didn't say Elijah, Master Muhammad says Elijah got things nearly correct. It means there were some issues in what he was saying, and they left it like that. Why? You have to ask them. I have my ideas, but you ask them. But see, the scripture, he said, well, don't talk scripture, I'm talking scripture now. The scripture says, Solomon was the wisest man ever lived. That's what the scripture says. So you're going to say Solomon is Master Muhammad? Because Solomon is the son of David, and David is Master Muhammad because David is the one that slays Goliath. And so Solomon is a spiritual son. That's why he talks about the father and the son. See what I'm saying? So Master Muhammad is the father, and Suleiman is the son. Or David, Solomon. That's what Solomon. They're so stupid. That's where Solomon comes from. Suleiman. It's a play on words. Sol the son in Latin. Man, Solomon. The wise man ever live. Why do you say that? See? And Solomon will be dark, but we're here. Say, oh, Master Muhammad, he's coming from the sun's light, he's traveling east and west. See, he has to understand the angel can't understand that. It was very clear, and he can make clear what that means. Don't know what the hell they're talking about. They say stuff. I can go on and on and on about everything he said was just total bullshit. Twist and turn scriptures around. And the fact they keep on proving Farracon, man, Farracon's mumbling. He can't wipe his own ass. And that's why they don't show him in public. When they did the last time they showed him, he in a jumpsuit and they had to hold him up. Everybody else was in formal dress, and he's supposed to call, but remember, he's supposed to be silent. So I called all of a sudden now, I think he's supposed to be silent, Farracon. So he comes out, and the whole way he got a jumpsuit on. Everybody's got suit and ties, a formal meet, so why he got a jumpsuit on? Because they have to dress him. They don't want to put him in a suit and tie. They don't want to dress him like that because it won't fit him well because they had to put it on him. And then they don't want him set up there with suit and tie on and slobbering. And mess around, be hanging off, and he can't fix it. So they give him something simple, a jumpsuit. Tell him lying. The man's incontinent. He's putting his shit in a bag. He can't wipe his own ass. See? That over there. Let me speak of something else, too, you know? Well, maybe I don't want to go to that right now. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Now, they mentioned this. They mentioned about how God was going, what God was going to do to America. But Farracon, see, they confused over there. Farracon says one thing, says something else. I just showed you, Farracon, he don't want nothing happen to America. They show how God says he's going to do all this stuff to America. Are they schizophrenic over there? Maybe not. Which one is it? Which one is it? If they're going to destroy America, then why the hell are we going to stay here? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Why do we want to stay here? I mean, that's like Lot and his wife and his children. And when they burn up Sodom and Gomorrah, say, okay, we're going to stay here while you burn up. Well, you're going to get burned up too. That's why, if God, look, why did God tell me to get the hell out of there? He's going to put special angels. Okay, I got a magic wand here, and I'm going to boop, touch you, and no matter what happens, they burn this place up. It's not going to mess. It's not going to burn you. You know, get the hell out of there. Now somebody just said, "Oh, you just told me no weapon that they will fail against you." That's exactly right. Exactly right. Except God's weapon. See, you missed these points. Who was applying the weapon there? God was applying the weapon. He's the one to show you how to defend yourself. He can destroy you too. That's the one weapon you can't guard against. You can't guard against God. So who was destroying the place? God was. So if you stay there, then you got destroyed too, just like with the ark. He said, if you're in the ark, you drown. Who you are. That's the one person you can't F around with consequence. And that's God in essence. Okay. So here, what's happening right now in America right now is out of their control. This is what they tell we put a hook in their jaw. Out of their control. They're losing control. And they're desperate trying to maintain it again. They can't. That's what's going on. It says, I am against the Farracon. Oh, no, I want to save America. Okay, who is this Pharaoh, king of Egypt? Who is that? They say, we in Egypt, so Pharaoh must be The king, the president. Oh, that's Trump right now. The last Trump. See? We got you. We got control of you now. You don't have control of yourself anymore. You know, say, I put a hook in your jaw. You don't have control of yourself anymore. We've drawn you to your destruction. You look over and see, oh, look at them sheep. Yeah. Okay. And then it clears up. And face against see. I have my face against God and Magog, land of Magog and land of Magog. Magog means means the mother of Gog. So Gog is that's Egypt. That's here. So about America. Who said America? Britain. See, that's why I say Gog and Magog. Against them, that's what God, but Farracon is not against them. He's for them. So how in the hell consistent with God? He's for them when God is against them. You know what I'm saying? He talks to God. He's submission to God, but that's not what this says. Not what he says. Okay, let's go into. I talked about this yesterday, brothers and sisters. So elaborate a little bit more on it. See, when you get into physics, you get to nuclear physics and atoms, and well, you know, there's this frequency to operate on. No, light frequencies. No. Let me give you an example I'm thinking of. You know. I've never been colorblind, so I'm only go by what they tell me. I haven't experienced it. But they can't see certain colors. They can't see green or red or something like that. So come they can't see. So no matter what you do, they can't see those colors. But those are sort of frequencies. See, light operates on a frequency basis, still wavelength from wherever. So certain frequencies they can't see. And nothing you can do to make them see it. They're blind to those. So that same thing with your thoughts. They say brain waves. Your brain operates on a certain frequency. Your body, all your cells, all your made of atoms and protons and all that, right? They operate on frequencies. And all of them operate on the same frequency. That's why all your body, right? If something starts getting out of sync with a certain frequency, you call that a cancer. Because it's going to disrupt the rest of his body. Because any frequency going to try to force others to work on the same frequency it is, that'll destroy your whole body because your body, your DNA, is based on a certain frequency. That's why when they graft something in, they have to find a family member that's close to the same frequency you're on. They can find one's accident, fine. They can't. They got one's close, they can't. Then they got to force it. They got to put some kind of medication stuff, trying to force the body to accept it because it's a different frequency. And that goes on for life because your body's not going to ever accept a different frequency. You understand? A frequency wavelength. Because your wavelength and frequency, right? That's your nature. You operate on a certain wavelength, certain frequency. Your body, that's why they upset about this 5G and all that kind of stuff. Because they said that affects the frequency of your body. So I'm going deeper into your body. Try to understand, go deeper. Right? So we're going to talk about the frequencies, wavelengths. Right? So your body operates on a certain frequency, certain wavelength. And so, and amplitude, all this requires energy. Requires energy. But now, you have a certain frequency and wavelength based on your nature. Now, the original people can operate at the highest frequencies and highest wavelengths and highest amplitude. We're at highest. Everything else is subject is lower level than that. Some subset of that, right? So if your highest frequency is 100 and your wavelength is 100 and your amplitude is 100 and you operate on 100, well, then you reduce that will be on lower frequency. So the animals, as I say, like a gorilla, he might operate on 100, he might operate on 70, right? And that's his nature. He can't go above that. He can go below that, but he can't go above it. You know, he can go below that, because it depends on energy. So if the energy decreases, he'll go down to 70, might go down to 60, might 50, because it takes energy to maintain. That's what frequency are, energy. Your energy levels, that's your natural energy levels. So they can decrease, but they can't increase. Understand that? So we operate at the highest levels, say 100, 100, 100, right? When the universe started, energy levels drop because as the universe increases, that means more energy out there, less energy here. That means you have less, Earth produces less energy because we live off the Earth. We live off the energy that the Earth provides for us. The Earth converts energy into a form that we can use, food and other things, air, all the things that we need, right? But the Earth needs energy to do that. So as the universe expands, it has less energy for the Earth, and the Earth produces less. So now we have less and less energy. So we have less energy. That means we can't maintain 100, 100, 100 anymore. We have to go down to 90, 90, 90. Okay? So that now we act on ourselves because we can't act at 100, 100, 100 anymore. We don't have enough energy to maintain that level. They don't have enough energy to maintain that level anymore. That level of thought, that level of action. The thought, the brains, the thinking, the ideas, the way you, everything. Remember, because your wavelength, that's what the way you talk, the way your ideas, the way you think about things, depends on your wavelength. That's why religions became about 35,000 years ago. So everybody reduced down to, so the idea of the universe and everything else diminished. So then you started having these religions, trying to understand the universe, right? With a 770 wavelength frequency amplitude level. You understand? So I'm talking to that before. I was talking to the sense of pressure, but now I'm going deeper into frequency. But it's still the same thing as pressure. I'm going deeper. I said, right? Frequency just gets deeper. It's all pressure. Okay? So I'm talking to the sense of frequency because I want to show you some other aspect. I tell you, I can't. I told people a long time ago. I says, so I can go much deeper in this. But hell, if you can't handle and subtraction, what the hell I'm talking about multiplication for? Why waste my time doing that? I got to move on. Okay? Because we're here now. The war is on. Right? So I'm pulling out a lot of stops. I can go deeper, but I want to deal with frequencies right now. Okay. So we start increasing. A mental state decrease, a physical state decrease, a governmental, organization, family is organization that decreased. The tribe split up, so forth and so on. Everybody had different ideas. It got worse and worse and worse until we got back 6,000 years ago. It got very critical. At that time, we produced a being, right? Let's see if I got that here. At the wavelength was at that time. Yeah. Okay. There's a little. Let me go back and let me explain a couple of things. See how tall it is? This is top one is taller than this one because it has high amplitude, but it has the same wavelength, the same frequency. See, wavelength is from one curve, one crowd to another. That's wavelength. They have the same wavelength and the same frequency. See, because this right here between these two, that's one unit of time. So it's the same amount of these as there. This is exactly the same amount of this. The only difference is this is taller. So it has the same wavelength. This has high amplitude. See? So what happened is that we was operating at our highest, right, energy level. So say it was like this. But energy had energy, that's energy, so we move down this, we start losing amplitude. We still maintain the same frequency and wavelength, but, right, we're still original people, we just didn't have enough as power as we had before. Right? So we move down this level. Right? And so eventually, we got all the way down to here. Now you got amplitudes down and wavelength and frequency, because you got a lot more of these up here than you got here. So frequency, because what frequency is like, so you say you got 10 people come in Walmart every minute. That's the frequency, 10 per minute. Right? And so you got 5 at Target. Well, that frequency is 5 per minute. So you got Walmart has high frequency, right? There's more energy than Target. Exists. So energy levels decrease down to here because we had less energy. So we're down here. That means our thinking, everything is down here, way down here. So we didn't think anywhere near as we should think here. And I think it started diminishing, got down to here. So we got down to here basically, right? That's we said, okay. At that point, we made Adam. Okay. But we're still decreasing on our way down. But we said, well, we got to maintain this level of government. We can't go any worse than this. We got to maintain this level of control on the planet. That's why I made a new rule on the earth. I keep this level, right? So we made them that can maintain that level. See what I'm saying? And they had lower frequency, they had lower wavelength, right? But they had enough to maintain control of the planet. Otherwise, the planet was totally out of control. So that makes sense to do that, if you understand it. See? But if you say, hey, man, I ain't going to do that, man. I'm going to stay on this high frequency level. I'm going to stay on this high frequency level, man, because we love you. We obey you. We're going to submit somebody's weak on a low frequency. See, you're going to say scripture. I tell you, it's mathematics. I'm talking scripture in mathematical form. We ain't gonna be somebody on a lower frequency, man. I want to stay on the frequency that you're on. You don't have enough energy to do that, though. But another one says, okay, we submit. Right? We'll submit. By submitting, right? Because we're still going down. That's what we made him on that level. So we left him on that level. Well, we're still going down, so at least we maintain that much control of the planet. But we hadn't made him. By the time, right now, during the so-called harm, it would have been worse because there wouldn't have been any government, there wouldn't have been any nation, anything. It would have been total chaos. It would have been total free-for-all jungle. They said, bad water is better than no water. That was the idea. So he made Adam. So God says, and remember, Adam knew everything that we knew at that time. Because I taught him all your names. But you don't know because we're forgetting our names. See? So we don't know what you taught us. We're forgetting our names. Because we're going now, we're getting weaker. But Adam will know all your names. You understand the story now, brothers and sisters? But listen, no, man, I'm not going to submit to a lower frequency. Because you understand it. You understand what's going on there. It says, when they're raised, right? So while they're down, while they're in submission, I'm going to come against them in every elevated place. Now you understand the story now? Because remember, they want to stay on that level. Right? That means from our submission, they'll be above us in every way. They're above us in every way. Because they got the Quran, they got the land, they got the language, and all that. They weren't going to go against Adam. They said when they were raised, Adam had to be raised. Adam was already ruling. We was the ones to submit. We had to be raised. And then they say? They say, y'all ain't nothing over there. Y'all niggas, y'all know about Islam. See? They come from every other place. They say, y'all on a lower frequency. Y'all stupid. See? They understand the story a little better now? That's what it meant. I'm just trying to show you this story, the deeper mathematics of it. They say they're going to stay on the same frequency. How's it working for them? Because remember, they stay on that frequency, right? That means they don't have enough energy to maintain that frequency. That means they got to give up other things. So Adam still could control them because Adam have that frequency plus having control. But Adam had to be taught discipline to maintain that level. That's his problem. That's one problem Adam had. He was made on that level, right? What it says, his what's what it say? He was made in haste. That's a little hint right there. Action. I say made created in haste. Right? But he needed energy to maintain, and so he had to give him discipline to maintain that. But with discipline, he was starting descending too, which he was doing right now. You see what I'm saying? So we kept going down. The demons. Now demons, they just like. Now notice the demons. They have the same frequency and wavelength as Adam. One thing is they're taller. They have a little more amplitude. Why is that? See? Because they have some of us in them. They have a little more amplitude. That's that same nature as their daddies. They have a little more amplitude because they have some of us in them. See? You understand what I'm saying? So they can fight with daddy. And it says in the end, they will overcome daddy. They would bring daddy down because they have a little more strength. The amplitude also is equal to strength. We'll talk about that in a minute too. See what I'm saying? So we're on our way down. So, but they were left in control of the planet because we couldn't control it anymore. Why would you put angels on it? But we control anymore because we have enough energy to maintain those levels anymore. So we get down further, and that means they gave them control over us because they would have control of the planet because they were operating on higher frequency than us. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I was put in charge. Because even though he's bad, but if we hadn't done that, it would have been worse. We totally free fall. There'd been no government, no organization, nothing. Everybody eating each other, everything else. You couldn't have a government, you couldn't have a farm, you couldn't have everybody was just free fall. You understand? Hope you understand. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let's move on. And see, they have the same frequency, frame wavelength, only the demons have a little more amplitude because of us in them. That's why it's so few of them. Greater pressure overcomes. So they're the ones that fight back daddy on civil rights and all that kind of stuff, right? We didn't bring that about, they did. They want to fight with daddy. We didn't want to fight with daddy. We want to leave daddy alone. They didn't want to fight with daddy. We fight with daddy. We want to get hell away from daddy. No, we're not our daddy, their daddy. They're the ones battling daddy. They fought daddy, made daddy give them more and more civil rights, all this kind of stuff. But right now, they can really go to war with daddy. They're going to defeat daddy because they got an amplitude. It has the same nature. But here we go. Now, Master Muhammad, he has the same nature as us, but he operates on a lower amplitude because he's mixed. He's not pure. He's mixed. He operates on a lower amplitude. There's a frequency, right? But he has the frequency that's above Adam. Frequency and wavelength is above Adam. See? So he's getting back to a natural. Not the frequency we was. That's why it says if he's ultimate and everything else, then why is the kingdom going to be given back to Shabazz like Elijah Muhammad said? So he's operating on higher frequency on Adam, low frequency wavelength, Adam. Okay? But he doesn't have the amplitude of what we originally were 50,000 years ago. But he still has the same nature as us. But he's operating on amplitude. Operating on frequency. In other words, he's operating on an original wavelength frequency. See, we're not operating on the original wavelength frequency right now. Adam is not. Adam is operating on a grafted frequency and wavelength. Weaker one. Let me make sure you understand that. See, Adam is up, well. See. This is our, we still have our still nature. The operating on still nature is just weaker. But down here, we operate on a much lower nature, animal nature, nature of beast, because it's a real low frequency down here, real low wavelength, and very low amplitude. All three are diminished. That's the energy deprivation. So we've reduced to lower animals. And Adam, like I said, with Adam, was down this level. We reduced, came down this level, and said, okay, let's make Adam. Adam made the demons. Made Adam on this level. This level is still where you can maintain control of the planet. You should have control of the planet. You can still farm. You can still have government, right? You still have organizations. It's not a free-for-all. It's bad, but bad water is better than no water. And we kept descending. And we got down, way down here. And Adam is ruling. And demons ruling with him. House niggers. Politicians, actors, preachers and reverends, they're all demons, master children. See? Okay? And we're sitting all the way down here. Okay? So they're the same nature, just hit, and demons have a little higher amplitude. But now, that's when Muhammad appears, he has the original nature. He still had an amplitude of where we were 50,000 years ago, but he has the original nature. So now he's come to pull us back up. Elijah came to pull us back up towards Elijah. He's back our original nature. Elijah came to pull us back up to Master Muhammad. Set to level. And then we're down here, he came, it was up to here. Okay? And then Mr. the Covenant comes and increase your amplitude. He gives you, he defends that process of bringing you back to the level of Master Muhammad and increase your amplitude. We're acting other than ourselves. You understand? So let's look at this part. Now you have this, we say everything is true in nature, so that's the way it looks, right? That's where wavelength frequency, that's where it looks. That's where wavelength looks, right? Okay. But there's two sides to it. See here? It's two. It's the positive side and negative. They work together, they put them together, there's two sides to it. One this side, one point up, one point down. That's the male and the female. We separated into two parts here. And originally it was like the original being. So all this stuff, everything, so you don't have to see me distort in scripture, distort in science, because every time I go in something, it works perfectly, everything I said before. It's all the same thing, it's all mathematics. So this is where the original being was. Right? That's the wavelength, amplitude, right? And then we separate it to this. Now, same thing, you put them together, you got a complete thing, but they're separated into two beings. Okay? That's the female and the male. Equal. The only thing is, the male has a little more amplitude, because the amplitude is strength. That's what I'm talking about. The man's a degree above woman. It's a little more strength. But the same thing, it doesn't matter. The wavelength is still the same. It still fits perfectly, just the male has a little more strength. The woman has more beauty. The man has a little beauty too. You know, but it's just to tell you, man, dude, he's beautiful. Right? Well, anyway, the way they see beauty, the way we see beauty, different things. Yeah. They see muscle, that's beautiful. Well, they ain't crazy like these people. See, they see muscle, man. Oh, that's they see muscle and oh, yeah, that's beauty, man, to them. See? But we don't want to see that unless you when them broke neck, broke foot. We don't want to see no big arms of a woman, right? All people want to see, yeah. But we have different ideas of beauty. Right? So for them, strength is beauty. plus, they just beautiful. I love these sisters. Whoa. I know in that lady, they showing these sisters, man, they so black. Oh, man. And like, that probably look bad. What they say? What you say when I was growing up? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, or something like that effect. It was going this here. And we did the same thing with the brain until that was the last thing. Spatial and analytical frequencies. So we have the spatial. So that means we're even more powerful in spatial than we were before. And from Muhammad, they got the analytical. So he's got a plane there that's beyond anything this world can understand. And Suma has spatial, he has a book that anything beyond this world can understand. Let me elaborate on that a little bit. If you're on a low frequency wavelength, you can understand anything on high frequency because your brain will understand it. Your brain will understand anything on your frequency or less. It can't understand anything that's above your frequency and above your wavelength. Understand that. It cannot. It's impossible. That's why when the books are written, it's written because time changes. It's like during the 6,000-year period, a new frequency wavelength was required to rule. So that's why we called it Adam. So he would rule during that 6,000 years. So every time, because as time the universe contracts, the frequency and the amplitude, first of all, you're going to achieve it, you have to have enough energy to move, right? But then the times will require different amplitude, different frequency, and frequent wavelengths. And so therefore, the scriptures reveal, that's why, and that shows you right there, because Elijah says, what he says that we get those books are written every 24,000 years, and revealed in times that's needed. That tells you right there that you can't come out, my Quran's the last book. How can you say, Elijah, we just told you no? The books keep revealed for a time that they're required. So what book Abraham had? He had a Quran, did he? Where's that book at? It's not around anymore because it's irrelevant. What book did Noah have? What book people 10,000 years had? Those books not around, they're irrelevant. In the future, the Quran will be irrelevant too. Nobody had a book. They may have heard about it. You don't even know the names of those books in the past. You don't even know the name of it. The book, they tell you there's a book that David had called the Bar. I think they call it. You ever seen that book? You know where it is? So when they tell you that, oh, my last book's the last book, and this is the last semester, how in the hell is that consistent with Allah Muhammad? That's not the truth. They said we keep revealing books because time keeps changing. Universe keeps changing. So how they going to tell me that's the last one, it's the last guidance? It clearly tells you that the angel, which is called Revelation, is the book for the end. The book of Daniel also tells you the book for the end. So God's lying there? The Quran doesn't tell us the book for the end. In fact, Quran tells you got to believe in the books that was written before you, before the Quran was revealed. They say, oh, we had the Quran's last one. And they, Farracon, you just keep on with you. I wish you could talk. I know you're babbling now. I wish you could talk. I wish you stop. I wish you keep preaching. Because that helps the separation. I don't want them to stop hearing you because maybe they might start hearing me. We don't want them over here. I pray for you, Farracon. Please let them speak. please let them speak. Let them speak eloquently. Because he's drawing all those clowns and devils and demons and niggas to him. If he get quiet, man, we don't want to stop that process. Get them away from us. You understand? So that's it. So now, that's why Matfam has that technical marvel. You don't understand. So it is, brothers and sisters. So the thing is that, that's why we got to try preaching these people demons and whatever, because they would understand this anyway. The stuff that they saying over there, it makes sense to them. That's the wavelength and freaks they on. So that stuff makes sense to them. It don't make, if you're in high frequency, that's some dumb shit they saying over there. Right? But to them, it makes sense to them because that's the frequency and wavelength they're on. And they can't come above that. They're identifying themselves. But if you was on that wavelength frequency, you accept that too. Because that makes sense. All this democracy and capitalism, that's the result of the frequency on. You don't see the Bible talking about democracy and all that kind of stuff, capitalism. It's about a whole different type of frequency, but they can't understand. In fact, they're actually against it. Because the way God says it, be a king. Oh man, we got to get rid of kings, man. We have kings. Because they're against that frequency, they don't understand it. And that frequency opposed them anyway. They're against that frequency wavelength. We try to understand that. That's frequency wavelength they're on, and they cannot change that. That's their nature. Now, we can change ours because we're operating at a deficiency. A natural wavelength frequency is higher, but we don't have the energy to support it. So as we get more energy, we start supporting it. But the thing is, they're doing everything you do to try to make sure we never apply energy towards increasing our frequency, increasing our wavelength. They want to keep us down on a slower frequency, slower wavelength, so they can keep us under control. Because frequency and wavelengths, right? Again, that's power. Which power you have. So Master has more power than them, but they have more power than us because we operate at a lower frequency and wavelength than they are. Frequency and wavelength, what you think? That sound is frequency and wavelength. Sound is frequency and wavelength. It's all about frequency and wavelength. Greater sound overcomes lesser sound. High frequency and wavelength overcomes lower frequency and wavelength. High amplitude overcomes low amplitude. So I'm trying to show you, not in the sense of pressure, but go deeper into that in the sense of frequencies. It gets deeper. It's more in the quality of pressure. But that's what wavelengths and frequency, and those are qualities of pressure. It's still all pressure. Still qualities. I keep talking about quality. So now I'm getting to the quality side of it. Quality science of it. You understand? So you out there, and if you out there and you claiming, let me put it this way. Okay, our people out here say it's sick. They are. And so here you come and you come with the right solution, prescription to their sickness. Right? But you got a lot of snake oil salesmen out there. Oh no, this is prescription. That's prescription. This prescription. See? So people don't know because they say they don't want to provide the prescription. They take your money and everything, and shit don't work. And somebody know the real prescription. They say, well, let's get this to work a little bit, right? Get money out of you and mix it, dilute it, right? It's like they sell dope and stuff. They take and mix it with sugar or something, right? Cut it. They cut it. They play games like that. So what can you do with people like that? That's what's happening right now. It says this message of the covenant will come healing his wings. He'll come to purify. So he will come to the right prescription. Because all the clowns say they got the right prescription. Farracon got the right prescription. Sal's got the right prescription. So-called son of bullshit got the right prescription. They sing all salesmen, and they take people's money, and they don't have the prescription, the proper prescription for them. So what do you think that people are going to do when they finally get the right prescription to get well? They find these people kept them sick poison them, taking their money. Ain't gonna do it to them. See, they say, I shouldn't say this, because you might misunderstand it. They say Suleiman is the wisest man that ever lived. They try to say that's not what match from Muhammad. See, because that's why he's a high priest. Because Melchizedek, that's another story. But it says, and you put your seat on, bogus, you ain't gonna like this one. The cruelest man ever lived. Ooh, why do you say that? The cruelest man ever lived. Because what they're trying to point out to you is to his enemies. They said their chastisement. Who's going? They said the most grievous chastisement. Said the chastisement be also paid on president. Who's going to do that? So Muhammad, he's got Joshua. He said, Joshua, you go ahead and do this. I got your back. Joshua's got to do all this. And so the thing is the reason why it's so cruel. Partly because of their opposition, but part of the other reason why they call it cruel, it's not really cruel, but they call it cruel, but from their point of view, it's cruel. But it's cruel because it's coming from here, not from emotion. Because you know, that's a roach, and it's not going to be nothing good about it. So you eradicate it. The roaches said, man, that was cool, man. He just killed all the roaches. He killed all the roaches. You know, yeah, from the roach point of view, that dude is cruel, man. You know, every time he says kill him, little babies, everything, this kills all. You just squash them. Stomp him, he don't care. See what I'm saying? But see, the devils, and then they're going to say he's the most, and the demons, he's the cruelest thing you ever seen in your life. That's part of it. The other part of it is, because of consequence. Because his judgment has to be based on consequence. And so it looks like most cruel because, like I said, they punched us, say they punched us in the face every day for a year. 10 pounds of force. So 10 pounds of force every day, that's 3,750 pounds of force that you accumulate over a year. So what if you return? Remember, consequence said they got to return that. So you just accept it, you don't do anything. And he said, okay, I'll pay you back. They hit it with 3,000 at one time. Damn. That's awesome. That was cruel, man. Look how he just destroyed that guy. He just hit that guy so hard, man. He just crushed him. He squashed him like a bug. That's what it looks like, right? But it's just consequence. It was held back. And so all the things they did to us, it says, do unto others that you haven't done to you. So it means everything they've done is going to be done back to them. But it's going to be done in one day. So it says that's some cruel stuff. That's why he's been known as the most cruel person in history. Because it's consequence. It's not cruelty, but from the people that suffer as a result of it, it's cruel. The babies, everything just totally wiped out. They thought God was cruel in Noah's time. Says, see, the Christians try to get around that one. They say, oh, was God cruel when he drowned everybody? And wasn't it ark? Wasn't it babies and little bit? What did they do? Pregnant women? That was cruel, wasn't it? So the Christians say, oh man, God is love. He wouldn't do that. So the answer is that he raptured them all to heaven. It's so fuzzy bullshit, but that's the answer. That's what you get out. Otherwise, God's cruel, ain't he? Why he kill those babies? They ain't do anything. He created the babies to kill them. Ain't that cruel? Think about it. If you listen to what they say, isn't that cruel? He created these babies. He created them in the womb to drown them. Now, if that's not cruel, what it is, if that's the way it went down, the way it went down. But see, they get locked in on bullshit because that's what they have to say. Like the Sunnis. They say, well, nothing happens without God's permission. That's what Farracon say too. Nothing happens without God's permission. Nothing. Right? So, and we're total submission to God. We're in total submission. Whatever God wants, we're in total submission to it. So every time Adam shows up a cruel submission, your ass and blow your ass up, shouldn't you say, all praise be to Allah? See, they get lucky on bullshit. Now, if you go in and say it, they're going to cut your head off. Because that's exactly what it means, don't it? If they show a cruise missile, that means that God had to permit that. So it blows your ass up. That means you say you're in submission to God's will. That means you say, thank you, Allah, blow my ass up. See? That's why they're so backwards over there, because they get locked in their own bullshit. Farracon said the same old thing. Well, God made everybody in the womb. Oh, everybody in the womb. He made all in the womb. We should thank him. He made all in the womb. Motherfucker had nothing to do with it. Okay. But God's a man. It's matter of fact, okay. So matter of fact, doing all these sisters? He doing all these women? See, shit just don't add up, do it. If that's the case, what, he doing the animals too? How you getting babies? Shit just don't add up. But see, the point is, don't have to add up. Because you're on a little freaks like they on, that makes sense. 2 plus 2 is 22. Remember, they're on a low frequency. Gorillas act on a low frequency too. They can't add subtract at all. At least not the way we understand it. They have some idea of math. They can figure out certain things. Right? They know a male gorilla or a female gorilla is going to try to do a giraffe. How do you know that? Birds know each other. How do you know that? They know something. You understand, brothers and sisters? We lock down bullshit. We lock down bullshit. Check something here, brothers and sisters. Remember one, brothers and sisters, trying to get you to understand frequency and wavelength, how that, because that's fundamentally, that gets down to atomic level. That's not pressure, that's on a general level. Now we get deeper into pressure. It's a wavelengths and frequencies. It's a quality side of it. Show you how these things operate. So now, the thing is, watch this. I think I did this here. See here? Now what happened is, right here you see us mixed in with Adam. The two waves of two different frequencies. There's confusion. And there's oppression. Because the higher wavelength, is going to try to subdue the lower one, but there's confusion between two because they're all mixed up. They cancel out each other. They affect each other. See, there's confusion. That's why you got a lot of confusion in America, because you got two types of people here. See? So now we're rising, and so now you got more confusion. You see? We rise up to their level and past their level. There'll be confusion, and we have two different wavelengths, two frequency. One going to press the other. The greater one is going to press the lower one. Try to force it, but in the process of pressing it, it's going to be affected too. So it's going to disrupt the wavelength frequency of the superior one. It's also going to, every action has an opposite reaction. So you put an action, regular reaction. We're both affected by that, both affected. Because the reaction, right, affects, that's reacting to. Okay, here you are, stand here. Someone hits you. You're going to react, but you're affected by the hit. You're still affected by it, but you're going to react. When you react, you're going to affect that you reacted to. So both of you are affected by that. If you keep going on, we'll keep affecting, right? It's confusion, it's confect, as long as you got two different. They're not seeking, they're not Hodge. When you're Hodge, you don't have that process. When you don't have Hodge, you don't have two. That's why you have constant conflict between so-called whites and blacks in America. We got two wavelengths, two frequencies. Two different wavelengths, two different frequencies. So they're in conflict with each other. So why would the original people, they wanted to leave here because they feel the oppression. They feel a different way. In other words, put it this way. You got the two. So one is affected by the other. One is affected adversely by the other. Each is affected adversely by the other. So the devils don't want us here, put it that way. Because that's affecting, that's have an effect on their frequency wavelength. Right? Because it wouldn't be a problem. They'd be in sync. And we don't want to be here because they affect our wavelength frequency. You understand? So that's what does that get to? So who would want to stay here? When we want to stay here, it's not on the same wavelength frequency they are. You get it? Farracon, I don't want to go nowhere. I love it here. He's on the same wavelength frequency they are. Same thing as all the preachers and politicians. I love America. We want to fight for America. See what I'm saying? You understand the mentality there? The reason why I say it because I'm trying to get deeper to the math of it because that reveals they're on the same way. If Farracon was a seed of Abraham, he'd be saying like Elijah, we got to get the hell out of here, man. I don't like this place. I don't like what's going on here. I don't like this frequency. My thinking is, their thinking is different from my thinking, and their thinking is affecting my thinking. The stuff they do, I don't like. The things they say, I don't like. And they have the same thing about us. I don't like them niggas. I don't like what they say, what they doing. They want to get rid of us. Like that's what Trump's in the process of doing right now. That's why he's so popular. Because he's on the same wavelength as all the other ones that want to get rid of us. You see, they got opposing. So therefore, if you understand, you can look and say, who are the demons? You see how that's to reveal itself? Because they're on the same wavelength. I want to stay here. I want to get along with Master. Master, I want more. You remember, if you go and look at the so-called Black Panthers, now, I don't know if they changed, but if you look at the paper they had, I was kind of surprised when I saw it. Because see, when I left Vietnam, I was looking for Elijah. I didn't know where he was going to be. I didn't know he was a Muslim. Well, I went looking for him because it said he was in the Bible, right? It said Malachi. At first, I went to the Black Panthers. I stopped in California. I met Bobby Seale. And I didn't meet Huey Newton. I was in jail or whatever. I went to Oakland, and I went to Back Road because I was staying in a hotel in San Francisco. Fillmore District, I think it was, something like that. And met them. I said, I want to meet them. And a couple of days, they came and got me, took me over there, and Bobby Seale and David Hilliard, right? They was in the backyard eating, and I didn't stop eating pork and stuff because I was following the Bible, right? They get barbecued and stuff, man, and Bobby Seale was getting high. He was sitting on the porch getting high. And right away, I started eating pork because remember, I'm into the Bible. Deep in the Bible. So Bobby stopped eating pork, I stopped eating pork. Right? And I went to look for Elijah. I said, hey, I'm in the wrong place. I can get this out of this damn army. Right? When I found out about history and everything else, I said, hey, man, so I left the army. I was a sergeant. I left. Went to look for Elijah. So I stopped off in California, right? I think a Fillmore District. I was in San Francisco, right? And like they came and got me. I talked to somebody, whatever. Anyway, they came and got me and took me out there. And I met him. I went to the backyard. In the backyard back there, barbecue, like I said. And there was I said, I know I'm in the wrong place here. Because if I'm with Elijah, I don't think Elijah be eating any pork. I mean, that's my idea. That's my idea ahead of time. That's it. Maybe this ain't the right place. Because I didn't know where I was going to find Elijah was at. I didn't know who Elijah was or anything. I didn't know anything about Malcolm. I know a little bit about Ali because I read a book when I was in the military. They just bring all these books in. And he had a book that he had written about the mother plant or something. And I was interested, but I didn't really connect with Elijah. I didn't know much about him either. I didn't know anything about Martin Luther King. I was isolated. This was 66, I believe it was. I went in the military in 66. It was just 1970 when I went looking for Elijah. So I'm back there. This I know, man. I think it was David Hilliard. There was 3 people back there. I remember David Hilliard and Huey Newton. Not Huey Newton, but Bobby Seale. But somebody else. I'm not sure who was it. Bobby Seale was sitting on it, but he was just getting high. I'm not sure who threw me against the fence. It was either David Hilliard or this other person. I can't remember. Threw me against the fence, put a big fork under my throat. Said, nigga, we can't. I said, hey, what's going on? Well, you undercover, man, or something. Why you yelling? No idea what was going on. I ain't saying anything, right? Hit me up against the wall like that. And so I ain't saying anything. So then Bobby Seale look over there. Said, hey, man, he was high, right? Hey, man, we got to be careful because we got people infiltrating and stuff like that. We got to check you out. I ain't saying anything. I tell you, you go out and sell some of our papers, and for a while we check you out, and then we bring you on in. I said, yeah, all right. And so they let me out. I got out the alleyway. I ain't never seen him no more. I got the hell out of there. Back to New Jersey. But the point is that paper they had, when I finally got a chance to see Muhammad Speak newspaper, when I got to New Jersey, I finally found Elijah. I got number 25 in Newark. And the paper was almost identical in the back. Their paper, that paper said pretty much the same thing Elijah Muhammad in the back, except that they didn't want to leave here. They wanted a big piece of the pie. That was the biggest difference. I don't know if it's changed since then. This is Black Panthers. They want a big piece of the pie. The demons, they want to stay here. That's what Farracon, that shows you who he is. Once you understand how, I'm trying to show you how, on the thought level, the mathematics on the thought level. I tell you about pressure, now I'm going deeper. Tell you about wavelengths, frequencies. Maybe that helps you, maybe no. I'm not trying to convince anybody anything. I keep telling you, brothers and sisters. I get information. I ain't charge you for it. I'm getting information. Right? Whether it helps you or not, that's up to you. Sit around, you're a believer or a disbeliever. If you're a believer, because disbelievers hear the same thing too. You got disbelievers, see, some people are lost for lack of knowledge. That's a whole different conversation there. They didn't get knowledge at all. But disbeliever, somebody that got the knowledge didn't do anything with it. That's the tree that be cut down. They're disbeliever. Because they got the information, don't do anything with it. Okay, I think I'm gonna close out in a minute, brothers and sisters, but okay. Let me explain. Let me go check something out first, and then I'll see how far I'm gonna go with this. Hey, brothers and sisters, I'm back. Come talk about a couple of things here. Now, the war is on. When Farracon told me, Armageddon started, what, 3 years ago? There's no Armageddon. It hasn't started yet. Then after God told me to shut up. Well, you see any war of Armageddon? It's going to spread over Europe and all this. Well, and I said no. I said the war in the Middle East, Michael's angels, they don't know who Michael is. Michael's master from Muhammad. Anyway, the war started on time, June. Iran was kicking false Israel's ass. They said, be a pause, signs in heaven. One heaven and signs in heaven, same place. Same place. Give me about this for a second here. Excuse me. It's silence. Now, I explained that in detail a couple of days ago, so I'm not going to it now. But if you go to the steels, like it's another point. Let me another point here. See, the Bible, the reason it's sealed, it was sealed to anything less than the wavelength of the angel. The angel is a wavelength we need to be to go into the spring, the new world. Make everything new. That's the level. That's the level of mind, because that mind will make that the spring mind will eliminate the winter mind. If you look at it from that point of view, they operate on the winter frequency and wavelength. And spring wave frequency and wavelength coming in. And so you have to be on that level. You can't take this winter in with you. You have to survive in the spring, right? And so we can move to that wavelength frequency. And that's what angel is. It's like the gym to get you to elevate. We have enough energy to do it now. Like you go to the gym, you might be weak, you have enough energy to go to the gym, you just don't have the benefit of it because you haven't started exercising, started doing stuff yet. Then you start converting energy into muscle. You start turning fat into muscle. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, you got energy that's bullshit. This so-called world dream, the American dream. You got your energy investing in all kinds of bullshit. Fat. You got to convert it to muscle. The spring. How the winter to spring? Because you hold on to the winter here. That's what they want you to hold on to the winter. But they don't want the spring. Spring is bad for them. Global warming, that's spring. That's your spring coming in. But they have you think that's a bad thing. That's your spring coming in. Because the earth is warming. That's spring. I said, well, the earth is warming. How come it's so cold now? I said, if I could answer that question, I mean, I shouldn't even waste my time answering that question. That's damn stupid. If you take ice out of the refrigerator, say you got water in the sink, and it's warm water. You take all the ice out of the fridge and throw it in there, ain't the water going to get cold? If you got enough ice, the water's get real cold. That's going to make the room cooler, isn't it? The water gets cold, it's going to cool off the room too. Until all the ice melts. Once all the ice melts, right? Then the water starts warming up again, then the atmosphere starts warming up. That's why it's cooler now. That shows you the global warming is coming because ice is melting, and water's going to oceans. It's cooling the oceans, and the oceans is cooling the atmosphere. That's why it's colder now. It's going to continue to get colder and colder and colder until all the ice melts. When all the ice melts, and then you got two continents. The North Pole, South Pole, those are continents. And people used to live there. Where they dig under the ice and they find all kinds of vegetation and skeletons and everything else. Because of energy deprivation, the poles are the first place to get cold. That's why you got ice up there. That's the Earth's suffering energy. That's the way the Earth looks suffer energy deprivation because Earth has less energy. So now at the poles got cold, freezing. So now it's warming up. That shows the universe is contracting. That's another sign right there. I said, well, I answer that question. I can't, because, whatever. So all these signs of spring coming in. But that means the winter is desperate because ice is melting, its power is melting. Because the winter, its power is in cold. In the cold, the snow and the ice. But that stuff is melting, its power is melting. So they're losing power. And also, they had us under control because we was freezing. Hey, Master, we're begging Master, keep us cold, keep us warm, Master. Can you give us a place to stay, Master? Can you give us a job, Master? Can you give us a heat, Master? Because we're freezing our ass off. But now we're getting warm. We don't need Master so much anymore. In a few minutes, we don't need Master at all. See? But Master was using us to work for him, to make things happen for him. So they're going to resist that. They lose control of us. The Master said, they don't want that. They don't want the spring to come in. Spring means their destruction. Spring means that all of a sudden, we're in control. We're the rulers now. Because in the spring, icebergs don't have any power. They sit there and melt. You're weaker and weaker every day. You understand from that point of view? They're going to resist everything to stop that. And so they say, well, they're going to add a point, say, well, y'all the one calling the spring, so get rid of us. Maybe that'll help. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. That's why I got to take Greenland. That's the interesting thing. I haven't checked this, so I don't want nobody to come back and tell me I just, right? Because I read this a while back, and if I recall, I don't think it was a joke, that they have Greenland, Iceland. And the way it went, right, is that Greenland is actually full of ice. And Iceland is really full of green. They did it to fool people. But nobody would want to go to Iceland. They come to Greenland. When they get to Greenland, they say, oh, it's icy. They say, well, I'm out of here. So I may be wrong on that, but I think that's the way it went down. But see, that's a desperate attempt. Got to take Venezuela. We got to take Iran, got to get that oil. That's a desperate attempt to hold on to the spring, to the winter. Desperate attempt. That's what's going on. And hold on to us. We spring people. We summer people, actually. But spring is good enough. See, Master Muhammad is a spring person. See, he's going to be in control during the spring for the next 6,000 years. See? Then moving to summer. Now it's our time. Spring, and some people get along. But in the springtime, spring people rule. Summertime, some people rule. Both of them get along. That's what's going on here. So the thing is that it says, if you read, let me go back to Genesis. Go back to Genesis. If you just follow Genesis, right? It's simple. It says you have first day, second day, third. Each one is 1,000 years, but it's broken into two parts, day and night. I mean, each one is 500 years. So if you follow that all the way down, Adam is not made until the sixth day, and the last part. That means, and we're in the 6,000 years now. We're in the last part of the 6,000 years. That means it's Adam, right? When they call Adam, see that one that made there says, "Let's make man our likeness and image." That's not Adam. See, that's these fools. They don't know that. And all the fools, these devils, they all get that all wrong, because the Adam that they talk about there was made in the first day, 6,000 years ago. The one they call Adam. But the one they say, let's make man our likeness and image, that's not Adam, that's us. That's the last 5 years. We came, we convert, change, to make man our likeness and image. We convert to angels into gods, male and female. That shows right there, because Adam, they show here, it was just male, and female came afterthought. Anyway, just simple things like that. That's how stupid they are, but the point is, it's stupidity. That's what we look at now, stupidity. But for 500 years, that wasn't stupid. That was smart. Because that was the wavelength everybody was working on. That's the wavelength frequency everybody was operating on. That was smart. See? So in other words, in winter, if you got to make igloos and do fishing, ice fishing, that kind of stuff, that's smart. If you won't do no good in the spring, it won't work for you. That's why Adam was smart during this time, because he knew his frequency wavelength was the right wavelength frequency for the last 5,000 years. For the last 500 years, really. He was successful. Who was successful in the last 500 years? Not the Chinese, not the Indians. The Caucasians were. And before that, it was nothing. They were confessed. That means they was operating on the right wavelengths, the right freaks for the time. I mean, how's that so complicated? It was in tune with the times. That's why it was successful. You're successful when you're in tune with the times. But now, that right wavelength freaks even working no more. We're going to the spring. So now they're failing. They're in division. That's why I said they're in division. They're confused because that doesn't fit anymore. That stuff they don't work anymore. It's failing. And new frequency, all things new, a new frequency, new wavelength is coming in. That's the angel. It's coming in, and that is successful. It's working, it's getting strong, and it's causing all kinds of problems. With this new vibration coming out, new vibration of wavelength frequency is affecting. Remember, they're opposing each other. But this is stronger. So it got them more and more confusion. They get weaker and weaker and weaker. While this gets stronger, stronger, stronger. Make all things new. You understand? So it says, if you go through the seals, right? It's the first seal to hear something, second seal hears something, third seal, fourth seal, but the fifth seal hear anything. That's the silence. And the fifth seal is talking about, if you understand it, it's talking about Syria and Iran. Anyways, and they keep saying to that 12th man, when are you going to do something? He said, no, I ain't going to do nothing right now. I ain't going to do it until you, Syria, is taken down. Then I'm going to. And so that's why he said, well, they were silenced about half an hour, which is about 6 months. So if you go from July, August, September, October, November, December, remember, they were, after that war in June 12th, it was quiet. They weren't talking about doing anything in Iran. All of a sudden, boom, a couple of weeks ago, boom, all of a sudden hell breaks loose. They actually attacked Iran. They attacked it on the social level. They said rioters in there. They killed 100 cops and so forth. So the war is on right now. It's just at that phase of it where they thought they were going to destabilize the country. Then it's going to move in. They thought, I'm going to throw a left punch, I'm going to throw a right hook. They threw a left punch, but Iran blocked the left one. So now they wait for that right hook. The war is on now. So then they put everybody in place to throw that right hook. Okay? That's happening right now. And when they do that, all hell breaks loose. That's where we are right now. But nobody's telling you that. And what led to that? Two things led to that. It says, first, the sign of Jonah was given to this weaker generation. It's given them. That's the only sign given them. Now, explain that sign weeks a while back. I'm not going to that right now. But the sign was given you was first. The first one was when they say peace of safety, certain destruction coming like women have, as women have in trail. In other words, when she first water breaks, she don't give birth right away. She go through labor. And there's sometime that be a couple of days. I don't think it goes a couple of days, but a few hours or a day or whatever. That's a period, right? It's a process. So it says, and that happened before October 7th, 2023. Oh, then we had Abraham Accords. All praise will break loose. All peace will break loose, right? And then y'all talking. We got this so-called what do you call it? What do you call that thing? Some kind of roads or something, right? Initiative, right? Where they're going to all this trade and everything else. And then Abraham Accords, they would get along with Saudi Arabia. I said, all that. I said, no. They said when it happens, and then suddenly, October 7th. And that brought on what? Abomination, desolation. They don't talk about either one of those things. Why don't talk about them? I explained to you in detail because they can't, because the way they characterized that in the past, it just be the opposite. It'd be the Arabs in the place of false Israel in the place of false Arabs. Abomination of desolation, if you look at abomination, it says the uprising was put down great cruelty. So they thought it was going to be an uprising of so-called Jews against the Arabs. The Arabs going to commit genocide and everything against them, great cruelty. But it's just the opposite. And when they say the opposite, oh, that means false Israel is false. Israel we call is false. Then you say everybody turn against false Israel now. Oh, why are we helping Israel? Why are we doing that? Why all of a sudden, you never seen anything like this before. Why is everybody turning against? Because people starting to realize something was wrong. Because we said it was going to be opposite. But now it's that way. So that means they're the false. Because they're the ones committing great cruelty on the Arabs. So that means they're the struggle. Because when you see, it said their destruction is near. That means the ones committing the cruelty, their destruction is about to happen. So they had all backwards. That's called the rapture thing. They said, oh, the Arabs are going to attack the Jews, and they're going to wipe them out. And Jews are going to be on their last leg, and when they're about to be finally destroyed, they will say, hey, Jesus coming. They're going to believe in Jesus at that point, right? Please, we believe you now. That's what make Jesus return, get rid of all the Arabs, and make a great nation out of false Israel, and rapture all the Americans out of, Christian Americans out of America. That's what they was teaching. But then they see it's reverse. Oh, no, it's false Israel doing great cruelty to the Arabs. That means that's not Israel. That means Elijah was right. These niggas over here is too rich, but we're in trouble now. Because it says, those who bless Israel will be blessed. Those who curse Israel will be blessed. We curse, but we've been cursing the wrong one and blessed the wrong one. So now we curse. You see, that's what is confusing a lot of people. They're confusing the vision because that's happened like, because they thought that was going to cause Jesus to come back. But now if Jesus come back, he come back after them. The part they're not telling you. People get nervous. You understand? So there's a silence, and then the silence broke right on time. So they attacked them. And now they get ready to the next punch. They bring all the ships and everything into the area. And when they have, that's it. That's where we are right now, brothers and sisters. So how come Farracon not telling you this? He always said God told me, well, he's mumbling on himself. He's slobbing. If I'm lying, to present him. See? So look, I'm ready for battle. See? So look, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not taking any medication. I'm not sick. I'm sick of this world. I'm sick of these doctors keep trying to take medication and carry on. Oh man, what, high blood pressure? Yeah. You know what's curing my high blood pressure? Getting the fuck out of here. That's the cure. I don't want your goddamn pill. They get mad at me. Oh man, you gotta listen to the doctors, really. If I listen to you, I'd be dead anyway. Okay. Say, why you go to the doctor? Well, you know, I got insurance. No. So they tell me I got to go at least once a year. Right? I go and they tell me they feel much BS. We got to take this. I went, first time I went a few years back, right? Because, when I retired, they said I had, if I retired, I didn't waste time on doctors. I retired, that was part of retirement. I did insurance. Insurance said, well, you got to do this, right? So, and I go in there and he's saying, hey, man, you're in good shape. Because I did have to have surgery. But I used to run. I used to run, man. I used to about 5-10 miles a day, man. I wore out my hips. I didn't have the hip replacement, but I had another procedure that's minimum. The doc said, well, at that time I think I was 62. When I retired, I think, right? So, we don't do this procedure, but you're such good shape, right? We'll do it. So they did it. So I was recovering in 2 or 3 days. I recovered. I don't run anymore because they told me I could run, but I'd be back to doing that thing again in a couple of years. I said, heck with that. I do fast walking. Right? I just go to the gym. I spend several hours at the gym, but I don't run on a treadmill anymore. I don't run outside. But the bottom line is that I had this doctor, he's from well, I'm not going into details, but the bottom line is that Hispanic doctor, right? I thought it was pretty cool at first, right? Then he kept telling me, give me one of these tests and everything. But when I first met him, he said, man, yeah, you're in good shape. Right? And he talked, and it was pretty cool, and everything was coming back positive. Right? Except, my prostate was getting a little big because I'm 70-something years old. I did have a surgery for that. They cut it down a little bit, right? See? But other than that, everything was cool. And then I told him I'm eating 1 meal a day. Because he said something about, I wish, he had about my diet or something. I said, that dude went off. Because usually it's about a 15-minute session, right? That dude spent about an hour trying to convince me that that's wrong, man. He's got finished telling me I'm in excellent shape and everything else. That's wrong, man. You can't be doing that. He spent almost an hour trying to convince me to stop eating 1 meal a day. Next thing I know, I got a whole, I got about 20 prescriptions. I got a prescription for this, man. I said, man, I ain't taking all that crap. Then he got mad. No, I was perfect health, no problem. All of a sudden now, when I told me I got all these prescriptions. I mean, that dude had me like 5 different prescriptions. Yeah. Anyway, let me move on. Solution is getting the hell out of here. So in other words, it started back up. So that's where we are right now. So right now, that's where they build up. And that's war in heaven. Michael's angel, and they about to get the ass kicked. When this happens, brothers and sisters, it's going to happen any day now. Everything will change. Now, when you read about the war in heaven and the angel, which is called Revelations, you find out certain things. See, because first of all, the one thing it says, the accusers of our brethren are cast down. Well, that's Farracon. Read Exodus. If you read Exodus, just by Exodus, you can't go wrong. Because it says, when they came back, when Moses came back, they heard a sign of war, but that sign of victory or defeat. That means the war was going on. That's this war you're talking about right here. And during that war, the accused of our brother, Farracon, is cast down. It's also, they're talking about the Ancient of Days, thrones are cast down. It's them. They cast down. Because the Ancient of Days said, they say, well, Master, I'm going to build this kingdom and live it up. No, he don't. It says Ancient of Days does, and he gives it to him. It says he put the kingdom together, and then one like the Son of Man came on the clouds of heaven, and he gave the kingdom him an everlasting kingdom. See, they have to twist and distort stuff. I don't have to do that. I say all the scripture. You can't come and tell me, I don't believe in this part. No, I believe all of it. And the angel opens it all up. And I'm on the right wavelength to understand it, because it says no one could understand it, not even the God himself. That person sitting on the throne that's Satan. It says, he took out of the book of the God. Well, it says no one in heavens or earth, well, God's in one of those places, ain't he? So they couldn't understand either. But the one he took on the throne, that's not God, that's Satan. He took the book out of Satan's hand. We got the book. They had the book, didn't understand it. They had the book, didn't understand. He took the book out of his hand. He broke the seals. And now he's trying to elevate all the people. He's not trying to. He's putting information out there, elevating everybody up to that level. They get the hell out of here and get back home. In the Lamb's Book of Life. That's happening, bro. It's happening right now. We had the period of Chief Peace and Safety. Go back and look at it before October 7th, 2020. Abraham caught another priest say, don't say bam. It's a desolation. Exactly what it is. Put out an uprising with great cruelty. The Palestinians arose up and now you had the war. The war started around time. And now you had a 6-month break. A little more than 6 months. And all of a sudden they go attack again. All this right on time. I've been talking about it. Not like Farracon watched the weather and know about it 7 months after it happened. I've been explaining this clearly. Well, you guys go back and look at the presentations clearly for years. So that's where we are right now. Not trying to convince you. I'm just putting out there for those people that have eyes and have been convinced to keep your eyes closed. Maybe you might open them. Because when you open them, you're going to see a great light. Now, how are you going to see Farracon? Remember? See, that everything just walks against that dumb fool. It says the people in dark see the great light. Well, if he's the light, like they say, well, they can't see him because he's cold quiet, supposed to keep his light down, turn it off. Now they're going to see a light that's off. They're so confused over there. But they have to be, because they're on the way they understand this. And they're fighting to try to, every week they're saying more and more stuff ridiculous. But the reason why we see them ridiculous, because the more you get close to your proper wavelength and frequency, the more stupid that stuff looks. The more stupid it looks. Because remember, you see the difference. But if you're on the same wavelength frequency, you don't see it as stupid. No, thing too, they didn't show the audience today. Was anybody there? Usually they show a little bit of audience and always plays almost vacant. They didn't even show audience all of it unless I missed something. They didn't show, was anybody there? That's what's going on, bro. That's where we are right now. So you could listen to Silas and, right? No. Being shit. Right? Eric, Chet, all these clowns. This film you want to, that's good. If they would do it for you, that same wavelength freaks you on, stick with it. We're not trying to save you. If you're not freaks and wavelength, why don't you stay there? That's what you lack, stay there. Because if you even make it, if somehow you get past, what's waiting for you? What's waiting for you? Right? You know what's waiting for you? Everlasting shame and appallment. Or everlasting shame and appallment. Or the tyrant. Whatever. Okay. If you see somebody, they're stupid, they can't understand anything, they're talking stupid, they do stupid stuff, you're going to be ashamed of them. You're going to be appalled at them. Man, look at it. Get ready to do, man, do a stupid thing. That's the way you're going to react, because you're not going to be on the same wavelength and frequency as people. It's home, because first of all, that's the message of the covenant's mission, to make sure that no one gets there. They have to be in his book. He has to make sure, and that's where he looked. That's how he knows that you're on that, because now you can understand the angel. You start understanding it. So now you're on that wavelength and frequency. If you're not, then that means you're not going to be in the Lamb's Book of Life. You got one last chance to go to tribulation. If you don't achieve it then you come back and you're going to wait. You and hereafter on a lower way, you're on a winter frequency and wavelength. That means you're going to be, people going to look, man, that dude is stupid, man. I don't know anything. It's dumb, it's stupid. And people say, oh, here, just go home and everything will be right. Let me say one more thing, brothers and sisters. See, I try to make this, my understanding, this what's happening here is beyond anything. It's just unprecedented, But I don't think you understand what unprecedented is. Let's try a little example here. Say, for instance, a child, a teenager. He got hold to a Uzi or a machine gun, or there's a regular gun. Somehow was able to go back 300 years in the past, right? He'd be a monster. He could wipe out whole armies. All the damage he could do. If he took a car back there, he just took a car. As long as he got enough gas to drive the damn thing, he could run over everybody. He could knock out armies. What are you going to do? Shoot him with bow and arrows? Just run over everybody. Just, see what I'm saying? That's a child. What I'm trying to tell you is that the children in the hereafter will be smarter than the smartest people here. They have access to power much greater than that. If they're not disciplined on the right wavelength and frequency, right? That's why you got to make sure, not only make sure that, right, that they have this properly disciplined, have achieve Hajj. They have to be part of Hajj. They can achieve Hajj. Even if they reach the right wavelength for frequency, they still have to come in harsh with the body. Otherwise, we can't let them come over because that means it'd be hard to get rid of them. And all store together. But the point is, we can't. Children will have much access and much more power. Anything they have here, more, enough power to make time bombs, everything if they wanted to. You don't understand that. They're wise. They'd be wiser than the smartest people in the world now. So we can have people there that would have. Like I said, you can't have people that 300 years ago they had the knowledge that these children have right now. The teenagers have right now, you couldn't have it because they would destroy you. Does that make sense to you or not? Anyway, I'm going to close out, brothers and sisters, but that's where we are right now. And that's why I'm presenting myself like I am today, brothers and sisters. Sure, I'm ready for war. I'm in shape. I'm conditioned. I'm sitting in a wheelchair, can't wipe my ass tomorrow. I'm Messiah. I'm Messiah. Can't wipe his own ass. In a wheelchair. Hold him up. Joshua, he had to be in shape. So Joshua would be in his 70s anyway. In his 70s when he took over. That's what it says. Some people say early 80s. And he had to lead the battle all the way. The battle to get out of here, take our land back, take our identity back, take the planet back. And Joshua lead the battle. So you have to know that Joshua, he got diabetes, he in a wheelchair, he ain't mumbling, he ain't senile. He's ready for battle. Anyway, brothers, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Let's see what else I got here. Sounds of heaven's over. The battle is on. The battle in heaven, like I said. They went through the first punch a couple of days ago. That was on.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this? Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Brothers and sisters, he got a snake out of his mouth. Oh man, this relief. Try this. Try this ointment. Okay. You don't have a solution. You don't have a proper prescription. It says, Master L.E.G.I.O.N would have it. He come purify you with fill full of soap. He come healing his wings. He got the proper prescription. But these clowns, they make money off you. Hey man, try this oil. Try this. Farracon, right? Scientology. Okay. How's that working out? And the thing is that they all got cancer over there. I mean, I watched little people when I got cancer. God gave me cancer because it wanted me to, and it was a good thing because now he showed me how to teach other people how to deal with cancer. Really? That's the way it works? Paraphrasing, but he said something to that extent. Why is everything happening with you, Farracon? You got cancer, your people getting cancer, dying of COVID, all your people dying around you. Something's going on. What's going on? Farracon. Nothing happening here. I'm not sick. That's what sick to you. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not incontinent. Can you wipe me on the ass? So let's look into this. Leave part of the book, this video is now closed, brothers and sisters. It's done. Snake oil salesman. Lying, they don't have solution. Yeah. I'm close. See here, you can look at this on your own. There's 7 trumpets, actually eight trumpets. Actually 8 trumpets, because it said that the Lamb had the trumpet voice, but I'm gonna leave that. They explain in chapter 17. Anyway, they're talking about these 6 here. So let's see how they actually, this is what they talk about, but this is how they actually present them. They say the 5th one is the first one that blows, not the first 4, 5th one. And 6th one releases he's called to release his first 4. That's the pattern. That pattern also applies to seals because trumps are also the seals. So you understand that, right? Then you get this understanding. That means this 5th seal, that's the pause. Go and look at the 5th seal, there's quiet there. All the other seals have something to say except that one. It said, I heard this, but when you get to that one, you don't hear anything. Right? That's the pause. And then the 6th seal releases the first 4. First, second, third, 4th horseman. And that's what's happening now. So after the pause, then the horseman released. So Michael's angels, he's the first one, leading the army on horses white. He's about to be released, brothers and sisters. He's being released now. It says Michael's angels. That means he's going to be with Iran. Now, he either made himself known to Iran or he's about to do it. He's in the process. That process is about to happen. Because he will be with them when war resumes. I mean, it already resumed. Just how long before the next phase? The silence already. There's no silence now. Because they move ships. Everybody knows they're going to be at war. They're going to be actually attacking each other within hours, if not days. The war is on. They're trying to get in position. They said you're in the ring. You throw the first punch. The fight didn't stop because you didn't throw a second punch yet. So now they threw the first punch was blocked. Now they throw the second punch. Anyway, read chapter 19. He's the one riding that white horse. And he rides that white horse. He's the one that destroys the American dream. And you wake up. Suleiman, Master of the Covenant, is there with your mind. Give your mind back if you want it. Not going to force anything on you. Right? He kicks American Britain, God got the Middle East, and knocks down false Israel, put them under siege. One in heaven, led by Master by Muhammad, Michael. And the 4 winds blow after that. That's the resurrection. Babylon's going down, that's the resurrection. 4 winds blow. Who's controlling these? Remember, someone released those first 4. That Master Muhammad, because he's one of the 4. Who's the one that is the 4 winds? Oh, Son of Man, preach of the 4 winds. Suleiman's in control of this. He preached the 4 winds. That caused the resurrection. And Babylon's destruction, both. Babylon is born, Babylon is destroyed in 1 hour, and our nation is born in 1 hour. 1 day. Simultaneously, that means one causes the other. And then the black horse, that's the demons, chaff and wheat, cast out, separated from us. We come together, we separate them out. And Farracon and all them disposed of. And then this triggers Armageddon. This triggers Armageddon. Because when they get kicked out of the Middle East, they run to Europe. But have you noticed? You see all the signs there? Have you noticed? That all of a sudden, Europe and America is at odds with each other? People talking about we need to get away from America, have our own army. Right? All this stuff's falling into place, brothers and sisters. So when Iran under Master Muhammad's control, takes over the Middle East, they'll cut off the oil supply to Europe. Europe going to totally economic collapse. That's chapter 18. So they're going to have to go make nice with Russia to maintain, because they can't get oil from any place else. Maintain, and so therefore, now they're allied with Russia and all American bases, because they were just saying they want Europeans to let's get all the European or American base out of Europe. They're attacking us already there. So then they attack all the bases because now they're allied with Russia. So America's got to rush to Europe to try to make, because they got armies over there. They're trying to save the armies. So that means they got to come with the oil in America. So that means America's economic collapse isn't going to be oil. Nobody cars run anything because they ain't going to have oil for it. So now they're fighting tooth and nail over in Europe. That's Armageddon. America fighting. That's what it says. It says these will take control of 1/4 of the earth, attack 1/4 of the earth. That's what it says in the fourth seal. 1/4 of the earth. The earth represents America, Britain, Russia, and Europe. 1/4. They're talking about America. What's happening, brothers and sisters? That's Armageddon. Getting east, Armageddon west. Because while they fighting over there, they're going to be fighting the demons over here. And also the nation of Islam who's fighting their way out of here. So Armageddon west. I think that's it, brothers and sisters. Let me close on this. Here. They don't teach them my mathematics teaching. It says, make an owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. What about that you don't understand? Make an owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Make an owner of the earth. It means everything on earth and under earth belongs to us. But we have nothing. Who has it? But they have control of us. God. Antichrist. Well, doesn't have control of our identity. They claim they're us. Ishmael over here, the jinn. Remember, I'm telling you this. This represents a leopard over here. This represents a jinn. This is Satan, and this is God, the Antichrist. They don't know who these characters are. You talk to all these clowns out there. So-called son of man shit. And all those clowns, they don't know who the jinn are. They don't know the Antichrist, don't know anything. This is also the goat. I'm told all of it. And he had to talk about vision. He said, now, remember, we went through Holocaust. We just read the covenant. Went through all that. Now our reward is return to the promised land, gain control of the planet. That's our reward for suffering through the Holocaust. But Farracon said, we don't get no reward because we were sinful. We was being punished. No, you don't get a reward being punished. That's what, but he says, and they're going to judge the state. He said, no, he blaming us. So in other words, he's saying we ain't got no reward. We don't have no vision. But ask these people what their vision is. People without a vision perish. So he still have vision because a lot of them said, we're going to church. He said, we ain't going nowhere. You understand? That vision's not part of our vision is the pathway to our reward. If you have to go and get a check, you have to know how to get there. Oh, I know it's there, but now you got to get there. He said, no, we ain't going nowhere. So we got to take off back. And that means you're going to resist. That means a universal war. Everybody's against us. In Scripture, they're all against us because they're not giving it up. We have to take it. It says Joshua had to lead you in battle. Can Farracon lead you in battle? But Farracon said, I got one more last thing to do. What was that, Farracon? How come you were so general? Why not details? Watch the weather. I'm going to get you across the river. How you going to do it in your wheelchair? But he's good. You keep on, Farracon. Come on with the bullshit. Doing a good job. That's the apocalypse, brothers and sisters. That's what we're up against. We're going to take it all back, every bit of it. They're going to resist us. Unprecedented trouble. Universal resistance. Okay, I'm going to close out here, brothers and sisters. It's the silence I tell you about. The war in heaven, about to resume. It has resumed. I keep saying that. Then they're going to come out there like a whirlwind. They're actually saying that. Saying Iran going to come out there, whirl all those missiles and everything else. Mass is going to be. See, the thing is, we got a hook in their jaw. They look, oh, we're going to get them lambs. They don't know there's a lion in the back of them. Mass Muhammad. So they won't be able to use their Air Force. They won't be able to use their nuclear weapons. It's going to neutralize all of them. All that. Days away, brothers and sisters. When that happens, people start to see the great light. People wake up. All you out there has been resistance, lying, distorting, whatever you're doing, there'll be. It's telling you, dude. It's telling you, it's not going to show any mercy to you. It's going to be. It's the most grievous chastisement. Some people say that's cruel. That's worse than anything could happen. So, can you call that cruelty? Now people wake up. If you're on the wrong side, you better. Oh, the demons are going to be in trouble. And these people are just selling snake oil. Oh man, they said for them is reserved the most grievous chastisement, most grievous. Jeffrey, Daniel, Ishmael, Silas, Eric, TikTok. Assalamu alaikum. TikTok.